Hey everybody, this is Alex Merced of alexmercedcoder.com. As you guys know, I created MercedUI, which is sort of like a library that's built on top of the Web Components API, similar to like a Stencil or a lit HTML, but it has all sorts of cool bells and whistles like Redux-like functions, ways to bind, all sorts of really fun things you can do with state, ways to just create reactive templates instead of creating whole web components. There's all sorts of really cool stuff, but there's a lot of stuff, and maybe you just need something simpler. You just need to be able to make web components easier because the Web Components API alone can be a little verbose. So what I did is I took a lot of the lessons learned as I made MercedUI, which I'm still going to work on, and it's still going to be sort of my main entrance into sort of front-end libraries. But I know there's people who just want to be able to make web components. They don't need all the extra features. They would just like to be able to use the Web Component API, so that way they don't have to. They can have a smaller bundle size, and they just want to be able to have props, and they want to be able to have state, and then be done with it. Okay, so I created a library that does exactly that. Okay, just took again a lot of the patterns that I use in MercedUI, improved upon them a little bit to create a function that creates a web component that will have state, that will have props, and work the way you think it would. Okay, it's called simpleComponent. Okay, it's available on npm and on CDN. I do think it works better as a CDN than. It just depends how you configure your bundler. Like I was using Parcel. I got a Parcel template that's available on GitHub. That works. I was trying to do the same thing for MercedUI. I just have to configure some of the transpilation when it tries to transpile all my ES6 code to ES5, break some of the features, so I have to work on that. But again, both libraries work perfectly fine as a CDN. You just put your script tag in there, and it works delightfully. Cool. So let's actually just create a small project so you can see it at work. So I'm gonna just go over here. I'm just gonna use the folder that I did before. Where is it? UI prac. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna change the. Let's take a look here. Milligram. Okay, we're gonna change this. Basically, it's the same URL. So for MercedUI, it's ui.js. For simpleComponent, it's just sc.js. Okay, and then that just basically switches the two. Okay, I'm gonna clear all this out. Okay, save. Cool. And let's just open this up in the browser. Actually, let's clear out the app.js too before it just starts throwing me all these errors saying, oh, we're looking for all these other features. And that's the other cool feature in MercedUI, that whole form tool class that binds your form to a state object, so that way it's it's easy to work with a form, but it's also it's nice. I like it. Okay, and not just because I built it. UI practice. So now let's open this up. New show in file manager. Open with Chrome. Okay, right now it's not going to show anything. Okay, but we have the CDN there in our tag. So first we need to make our component. And for simpleComponent, it's real simple. There's literally only one function. Okay, and that one function does everything you need, and there's nothing else. The whole library is like 1.4 kilobytes, 1.3 kilobytes. So you get all that functionality without adding too much to your code. And it just works like this. You say simpleComponent. Okay, simpleComponent. You pass in an object, and just kind of like with MercedUI, you're going to pass in a prefix, because again, web components have to have a two-part name. So we'll just say test. Then you're going to pass in the name of the component, which would be the second part of the name. So that'll be test. Then you pass in a state. So in this case, it's called state, not store, like I did in MercedUI. So this way, it just sticks to a sort of a very familiar feel to React. So then I'm just going to pass in the initial state, which we'll say is hello, a property called hello, which just says hello world. And then the builder function, essentially your render function. So let me just put the comma. Okay. And then basically here, props are going to be automatic, so you don't have to worry about the extra functions to grab props. Like I like it sort of dismembered in MercedUI, because then you can do some extra fun stuff of like grabbing props of other elements, which is kind of cool. But again, keeping this really simple. So this automatically just grabs its own props. So when you build your builder function, it's always basically the state, then props. Okay. And then basically you just need to return a template string. So return a string, and we'll just say h1. H1, we're going to do state.hello. So we'll use template, we'll use interpolation, state.hello. And then h2, we'll use props, just to show you how props works. So it'll be just props.user / h2. Okay, that's that should be it. The coloration's a little off, so let's see why. User, oh, I didn't put a closing bracket here. There we go, that looks right. Okay, cool. That's it. Now I can go into my HTML. I can go into my body and do this. Test user Bob. So that way we're using the props. Test. Okay. One. Again, each one will have a different prop. So this will be prop Steve, prop John. Save. Okay, let's go back to our thing. And there you go. See, hello world Bob, hello world Steve. Now just to figure out where that curly bracket's coming from. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, I think I need to get rid of this. There we go. Save. Ta-da! See? Nice. Okay, very, very simple, and I can make much as I want. Now, let's say I wanted to update the state. Let's create some buttons. Let's create a... actually, I don't even need to... All I just need to do is create some sort of variable that grabs those DOM elements. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put const comps for components. And it's just going to equal document.query selector all. And we're going to grab all those test elements. Okay, cool. That's it. There we go. I've grabbed those elements. So it's going to be, 0, 1, 2. Now we'll add an onClick function. OnClick equals, okay, we'll just say comps, the first element, 0. And this is just going to have a set state function like you're used to in React. So set state. And we just pass in the new object. So it'll just be a new object with hello as a property. And this time it'll say goodbye world. Okay. And there. So I will just copy this over to the other two. Except I don't want this on the actual component. Control X. Well, I guess you could. Why not make the component clickable? Control Z. I just want this. Control C. Cool. Okay, and let's just change this to 1, 2, and there we go. And that should do it. So I hit refresh. Now if I click on the component, it should change the state. See? Boink, boink, boink. Okay, and basically just to do that, that was my code. That was it. Okay. Not bad, right? Okay, and then again, this is just a template, so I'm pretty sure you should be able to just put a slot here if you wanted to. So you could do something like this, like slot / slot. So that way if you have any children, they'll be in there. So then if I were to do this, let's say on the first one, I were to put an H3 here, that says cheese. Save. Okay, and let's go back over here. Cheese. See, it fills in the slot. Okay, so you have all the power in the world, and it's a very small library, and this is, you know, a very simple way to be writing your components. You create it and you have it. Okay, not bad at all. And then again, there is the parcel library. The only difference is that with the parcel library, because the way it translates things, if you want to use the parcel template, it'll start like renaming stuff, variables and stuff. So you got to watch out for that and adjust your code as needed when you run into those issues. You could probably just configure it with Webpack and then not configure Babel, and that'll probably take care of it. But I don't know. I'll let those who like to configure those kind of things figure that out. But the library works. You can do the thing. It's awesome. Enjoy. Use it. And this, again, only like 1.3, 1.4 kilobytes, and you get all that power. You get props, you get state, you get the ability to make web components in this nice, quick to read way, quick to write way. So enjoy.